Yo, happy Sunday. LT is here. Today's Sunday, March 21st, 2021. It is about 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I am just going to say I'm so blessed and grateful for today. Um, Last night was a blast. It was a virtual book launch for my client, Jackie Phillips, who just released into the world her third book, and it's called An Uphill, check this out, An Uphill Climb Towards Faith. And it is a phenomenal book. We talked about it last night. There were lots of tears because she went through her personal faith journey and talked about some of the things she's been through in her life. And so last night was awesome. It was amazing. I was up late, and we were having wine and doing toasts. And so this morning I woke up and I thought I was going to go jog a couple miles, and my body was like, no, you ain't 25, girlfriend. You 45. So anyways, I'm here today, and I want to go through and review the last couple of pieces. This is a 7-day series, 7-part series. And today is part 4, which talks about how to find the right editor for your book. And the name of this series, again, it's Write Your First Book Now. Instead of waiting, right? Write your first book now. So who is this for? This is for people who have ideas, but they don't know if they're good enough to put in a book, right? I used to think that. Are my ideas good enough to put in a book? Is anybody ever going to read this? Like, does anybody care? If you're thinking that, this was the place for you. This is also for people who already have a manuscript done, and you just need to know how to press play and how to get it out into the world and published. Right? How do you do that? Like, there is a step behind it. There's a process behind it. It's an art and it's also a science. And so you do have to learn, and you have to skillfully plan for your publication. Also, if you are thinking, oh my gosh, like, people have been telling me that I should write a book, but I don't know what to write about. I have no idea. I can help you generate ideas based on your expertise, based on work that you've already done. Okay, so relax, you're in a good spot. Okay, this is also for people that stare at the blank page and get anxiety. I used to do that. 7th grade, I used to look at the blank page and automatically get anxiety because all of a sudden I had a teacher that wanted me to write every day. What? That was revolutionary in my mind. Why do I have to write every day? What's the purpose of that? That was a powerful lesson that she taught me. And so I was the girl that looked at the blank page and was intimidated because there were so many lines to fill up. What am I going to say? I don't know. So this is the spot for you. This is the success circle for you right here. If you are feeling like overwhelmed, like you want to write, but you don't know, you got mind clutter, you don't know what to put on the page, the blank page just makes you freak out. It's also for people who got into a flow. Maybe you were in a flow before. You were in a flow, something happened, life hit you, knocked you down, kicked you around, and you stopped writing. This is the spot for you right here. Okay, if you stopped writing and you need to know how to get that engine started again, let's go. This is the spot for you right here. Okay. Also, if you have a story to tell that's a part of your legacy that you want to pass on to your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, and you're at the point now where you're like, maybe you're retired and you're thinking, what am I supposed to do now? I want to get this story out. I want my children to read it. I want them to know my story, my life, how many things I've overcome, where God has brought me to, how I achieved things, how I struggled and overcame those struggles. This is the place for you. I call that a legacy book, right? So let me introduce myself. I'm talking too much. I'm moving ahead of myself. So, for those of you who do not know me and this is your first time in my circle, my name is LT, Latasha LT Jimerson. I'm also called LT the Buddy Teacher because I am your friend, I am your partner, and I am your teacher. And I help bring the best out in you, but I support you and I encourage you every step of the way. So that's a little bit about me. What do I do? I've written 8 books. 8. And I'm going for more. I do about 2 books a year just because it's fun. It's a hobby. But I also coach people. I've been coaching people for about 4 years now. I started out just coaching for free, just for fun. You know, I just love to see the look on people's face when they get that book in the mail. And then I officially launched my company 2 years ago and officially started booking clients in 2020. And so I just went all out, like full speed ahead in January of 2021. So it's been a full year since I really went all in 100% on my business. See, I've been dibbling and dabbling and going around here, going around the circle, but I just decided I'm going to go all in 100% and do this thing. Right? So that's been a full year. I've been a classroom teacher for 18 years. I started out with middle school students, social science and AVID. And then I switched over to high school, social science, AVID, and I added English. So I started teaching English, loved it. Started teaching government, economics, psychology. I just really, one year I got a chance to teach financial literacy, which was amazing because I was learning and I was teaching myself how to become financially literate. So it was fresh, it was new, it was exciting, and so I was able to pass that on to my students. I was able to teach them some of the principles of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yes, we started talking about Think and Grow Rich. Like, that year of teaching was monumental because I had high school seniors and they were coming to me to learn things that were relevant to their life, like the next day, right? They had jobs, they were working, they had cars. So all of a sudden life became real. And so the financial literacy piece that I was able to share with them was crucial because they were spending money already. You know, we talked about, the bills and everything, and it was just so much fun. So classroom teacher is my heart. History is my first love. But English, financial literacy, a lot of the things that I'm studying now as a 45-year-old woman, I so wish that I would have studied it in high school and in college. But hey, so what? I'm learning and I'm teaching and I'm sharing this with you right now. So if you've ever thought about writing a book, if you've ever had somebody tell you need to write a book, you need to get serious about it. You need to go all in 100% and just see what you can do. Just see what you can do. Just get in there and just say, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen. I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't know what I'm doing. But you know what? I'm open. I'm coachable. I'm teachable. That is the kind of person that I like to work with. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm scared. But I trust you, LT. And I trust the process. And I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay being uncomfortable. I'm comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's the type of person that I want to work with. And so I'm going to make an offer to you during these 7 workshops. I'm going to make an offer to you that you cannot refuse. All right? You're going to be able to work with me like my clients have worked with me, but in a much higher capacity, in a much closer and more intimate capacity, because I am creating a beta program that is going to get phenomenal results. Results that I have not seen yet. And trust me, I have seen some amazing results. My book number 8 went bestseller. Yeah, bestseller. In the category of business, coaching, mentorship, and leadership. Okay, that book is called Visibility. You can get that on Amazon right now. That was a collection of about 25 speakers talking about how we rule from the stage, how we make eye contact, how we make impact, how we love people, we serve people from the stage, right? So that's my book number 8. Book number 7 is a Corona Struck book. It's called Corona Struck. You can literally get that right now for $4.99 for the ebook on Amazon. The Corona Struck book is for teenagers who were going through it, who were Corona struck, and nobody's been talking about it. For the teenagers, we came together. There's 9 of us authors. We came together. We pooled our resources. We created a book for teenagers to focus their mind on, because there's so much negativity. There's so much mind clutter. We created a very short book for them to read and listen to the voices of teachers who care about their well-being, who know what they're going through, because we've worked with teenagers for so many years, right? So get the Corona Struck for your teenagers. Get the Corona Struck for your teenagers. Get the visibility book for yourself, especially if you're an entrepreneur. Get it. I have books that are on Amazon. I have multiple books that are on my website as well. If you go to myfirstbook.org, you will find multiple resources. Put your email in there. I will contact you directly, personally, and provide you with whatever resources you need as a new writer. My whole heart and my whole mission in life is to help people tell their story in a great way that it impacts other people's lives, and it's written on paper and it's permanent. The spoken word is powerful. The written word is permanent. Your story needs to be told. Your story needs to be documented for your great-grandchildren. The royalties need to come in for your grandchildren. Right? So if you've been waiting, if you've been thinking, stop. Stop waiting, stop thinking, and start acting right now. So with having said all of that, today is the 4th part. And I'm going to do a quick review of all the other parts just in case you missed them. Those other parts will be on YouTube for a very limited time, so you watch them for free now. Okay? Part 1 was the ABC process to get your mindset right. That's mindset training. Set the atmosphere. That's good for you to write. Breathe. Getting into an environment where you can take a deep breath and everything smells good. You're outside, right? C, control your pen. Control what's coming to you and through you by writing it down. Okay? Like, you're not trying to control your thoughts as they come in. You don't even judge your thoughts. You just take the pen and just write everything down. Some of it's going to end up on the cutting room floor. Some of it's garbage. So what? You do a brain dump. Okay? So that's how to get your mindset right. ABC. Atmosphere, breathing, control. Okay? The second part is one of my favorite parts, because it talks about Popeye. Popeye the Sailor Man. He's got his can of spinach. Boop! Drops it in his mouth. And then all of a sudden, boom! His bicep is huge. Right? Obviously, it's not going to happen in real life. But you never know. You never know. So the reason why I bring up Popeye is because it's like an instant results type of thing. With me, I've been developing my writing muscle since I was 12. So that bicep did not pop out quick. I'm 45. So I've been developing my writing muscle for a long time. I've been writing every day for a long time. This is your day 1. If you're just starting, drop the mic right now. Drop the computer right now. I mean, not literally, but stop what you're doing, get a piece of paper, get a pen, and start writing. Right? Start writing. It's your first day. If you've already been writing, just continue writing. Continue 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, 40 minutes a day, an hour a day, until you have so much content that we can just shuffle through it and find beauty. Right? That's the second part. The third part is get your outline Get a structured outline. And I have a structured outline as a part of my course, and I teach how to use it to make sure you keep yourself anchored and grounded, rooted and grounded, and you don't go off in left field like I do sometimes. Squirrel, squirrel, right? So then today is the fourth part, how to find a good editor. Obviously, I'm a great editor. I edit all the time. But there are ways that you can decide who to hire as your editor, because the editing part of the process is the most important part. It is the part where the sculptor is sculpting and chiseling and cutting away at the fat. It's trimming the fat. It's streamlining the whole story. It's pulling everything together like a masterpiece, like an orchestra. It is so important. It is crucial and critical. You cannot submit a book. You cannot publish a book without having a good editor. If you do, it's a disaster and it's a train wreck. And if you do submit a book and publish a book without an editor, your first book could be your worst book. I'm just going to put it that way. Okay? I did this with my second book, actually. I paid a teenager to read it and edit it. And I went ahead and published it. And there were all kinds of errors. And that was a disaster. So don't do that again. Don't do what I did. Okay? Get an editor. So, LT, you said get an editor. Where do I get this editor from? Where do the editors hang out? Where's the editor's lounge, right? There is no editor's lounge. This is where you do your due diligence, because this is your reputation on the line. This is your book that the world will see, that your great-great-great-grandchildren will see. Your reputation is on the line. So when you write your manuscript and your manuscript is finished, your mind has dumped out all the ideas. You need to find a good editor to go through it. Okay? I recommend you get 2 editors and a proofreader. So that will be 3 eyeballs at the very minimum. You are allowed to get as many editors as you want, but you remember you have to have a budget for that. So I would say the first editor is the developmental editor, just to tell you if you're on the right track. Does the story develop? Does it make sense? Are these events in order? Are your ideas in order? Does it flow? So the first editor, make sure that it flows, okay? Your second editor is going to be a line editor to go line by line by line. That is very expensive because they're going through each line. Making sure that you've crossed your T's and you've dotted your I's and you have a period and you have commas and you have a semicolon, all that stuff, okay? Then the last person to read it is your proofreader, and they are going to make sure that the editing is on point, that the development is on point, that it makes sense to the reader, and it is geared toward who it's supposed to be geared toward. Okay? The proofreader is the last person. Okay? The developmental editor is the first person. The line editor is the second person. The proofreader is the last person. Hopefully these are 3 separate people. Okay? Don't try to be like me. My first book, I tried to be all of them and couldn't do it, so I ended up having to get help. These are folks who have time to read. These are people who are retired, maybe retired teachers, retired English teachers, retired history teachers. Could be a retired math teacher, science teacher, whatever. As long as they have the time, give them about 10 to 15 days to go through the manuscript, right? Give them time. Retired people got time. And they're always happy to help, right? Most of them. Where else do you go? Where do the editors hang out? Is there an editor's lounge? Maybe you have a college professor who's out on a summer break and just loves to consume material and read. Maybe you're friends with a lawyer, and the lawyers love to read, right? And love to look for errors. Love to look for mistakes. So you want to do that. Even someone who's been your nemesis, your arch nemesis, someone who's been a critical person of you. it could be very helpful, very useful for their feedback if you get them to read your first draft, okay? Because this book is going to have at least 2, 3, 4. My clients turn in 5 drafts to me, and we get it done in 90 days, typically. And they turn in 5 separate drafts because we go over it. It's like volleyball. We pass it back and forth, right? And so that is pretty much what you need to do to find an editor. Now, let's say you don't know any English teachers, history teachers, college professors, lawyers. You don't know any of these people. Where do we go? Okay, that's where you go to social media. That's where you go to the Facebook groups for writers, for authors, for poets. There are hundreds of writers groups. Join one. Hundreds. Go to your local library and join a local writers group. Go to Facebook right now and put in the search bar 2021 publishing for authors, coaches, educators, and speakers. That is the ACEs group that I created about a year ago. It's like the Ace of Spades, the Ace of Hearts. Look that up on Facebook. Anybody can join. I let everybody in as long as you're an aspiring writer. You do have to introduce yourself and tell people what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And you'll find so many people in there because we're networking as well, right? We're networking. We're supporting each other. We're encouraging each other. We're offering our goods and services. Like, we're always promoting ourselves. That's perfectly fine and acceptable in my group. There is no spamming. No such thing as spamming in my group. You just come in and you can promote yourself as much as you want. No big deal. So that's Facebook. You can also go to LinkedIn and put in, I'm searching for editors. You can go to your neighbors. You can go to colleges and universities. Find college kids who want a job to do for the summer. Okay? Now, I have this little acronym, and it's called TWERK. TWERK. TWERK, baby. TWERK, TWERK, TWERK. Hopefully you'll remember this. It's really cool and silly, but this is going to cement it in your mind. You ain't going to forget this. How to find an editor. This is what you need to do. You need to TWERK. TWERK. TWERK, baby. TWERK, twerk, twerk. Twerk, baby. Twerk, twerk, twerk. Okay, but really, it's actually something that you're going to have to do. Okay, so the T in TWERK is testimonials. Be sure to go, whoever your editor is, whatever company it is, whatever individual it is, whoever it is, make sure that they have some kind of testimonials that tell you what other people have been able to achieve because of their work. So that's the T in TWERK, okay? W is what kind of work have they done? Have they published anything? Find out. Do the research. Google them. There's so many ways you can find out. So that's the T and the W in TWERK. Then the E, find some examples of work that they've done. If they're willing to do a quick editing example for you, if you can give them maybe 3 paragraphs and let them edit it to see that as an example, that would be amazing, right? So that's the T, W, E in TWERK. Now we're on R. Find out what their rates are. Some editors charge you per word. Some charge you per page. Some charge you per chapter. Some charge you per hour. You need to find out what the rates are so that you can budget for that and invest. You have to invest in a good editor. And then the K in TWERK, TWERK, TWERK. What kinds of packages do they offer? Do they offer a editing plus formatting plus cover design plus whatever? What are their bonuses? What are their packages? Can you go back to them if you find an error that they didn't catch? Like, you're going to have to really get detailed into the nitty-gritty and ask this person what their expectations are, and you need to talk about what your expectations are for your book. And yeah, that's TWERK, okay? TWERK, testimonials, work, example, rates, and kinds of packages. All right, so that is the end of part 4, how to find a good editor. I know that you've learned a lot. I know that I give a lot of juicy content and valuable information. And so go ahead and send me a message. You can either email me at ltthebuddyteacher@gmail.com, or you can go to my website, myfirstbook.org, and you can put your information in there. In the little box, you can book a call with me, and I'll sit down and listen to your idea for your book, right? If you scroll down all the way to the bottom of my website, you will see not only book covers that my clients have created, but you will see testimonial videos of my clients talking about what it's like to work with me. It's a hoot. It is a very fun ride. It is a rocky ride. It is a hard ride. It's bumpy because we are working, right? It's hard to do. It's like running a marathon when you're 8 months pregnant. It's damn near impossible unless you have a good team, unless you have a good coach. All right? And I hope I'm your coach. If I'm your coach, type somewhere in the chat, LT, you're my coach. Or even better, LT, this class is for me. Because remember, I'm doing a beta course, and it's going to be like a short mini, and I'm going to be getting some results in a very quick, short time span. So listen for details about this offer, because normally it is a huge investment, right? I'm breaking it down for you, and I'm giving you 50% off. Okay? So definitely stay plugged into this series. Today is part 4. Tomorrow's part 5. Then part 6, and then part 7, and then your offer is coming. All right? Have a great day. It is a beautiful sunny day out here. I'm about to go enjoy this sun, y'all. Bye.